Hey guys, welcome once again to the Guy Block Podcast. As always, your host, Orlando Rodriguez. Today's episode is going to be a short one, but after all the emotion and excitement of UFC 217, I wanted to take a moment and talk about, yes, a lot of craziness happened, but I wanted to talk about Joanna Jedrzejczyk. I know there were 3 title fights. It was one of the best pay-per-views that the UFC has ever had. Definitely their best pay-per-view of the year. And why am I talking about Joanna Jedrzejczyk? Because Joanna Jedrzejczyk, also known as Joanna Champion, is one of my favorite fighters. And I wanted to make clear the point that after losing her title, she has not lost a fan, and she shouldn't lose any fans. If anything, Joanna Jedrzejczyk should have more fans today than she did last Friday. Why? Because there are people that are champions because of the belt that they win. They win a belt, they become the champion of a division, they get all of the main events, they get all of the highlights, they have fans, they have scores of people coming up and saying, you're the champ, you're the one, you're the best in the world. They have to do very little after that. They can give some interviews, they can carry themselves how they want, but no matter what happens, they are a champion. And then there are people like Joanna Jedrzejczyk who prove after losing a title, right after losing it, they prove that they're still champions. Joanna basically just wrote and executed the script on how to lose like a champion. I'm not being a fanboy about this. I'm saying after seeing so many fighters in championship and non-championship fights lose and then talk about a nagging injury, lose and then blame the ref, lose and then say I didn't tap, lose and say, hey, the fight should have gone on, they shouldn't have stopped it, it should not be a TKO, I could have taken a few more hits and gotten out of that situation. Whether they're right or wrong, the result is the result. Sometimes it sucks. Sometimes I agree with the fighters, sometimes I don't. But Joanna lost, and it sucked. As a fan, as somebody that really wanted her to tie and then beat the record set by Ronda Rousey, I was really I did not have words for it. However, Joanna, the post-fight, she was the first person to talk to the media. She gave no excuses. She talked about how she had a great training camp. She said the most truthful thing you can say about a loss in MMA and in any contact sport. These things happen. And that is true. She will go back, she will look at the tape, she will analyze this more than any of us, more than anybody on Fox, ESPN, in the UFC, more than anybody in her division, more than anybody in her life. Joanna will analyze and dissect what happened in this fight. And she will learn from it, and she will grow from it, and she will come back better for it. But these things happen. And sometimes you're great and you still lose. Sometimes everything works out perfectly and you still lose. And that's what happened. And while that happening sucks, it just gives us one more opportunity to look at yet another facet of Joanna. Joanna, something we did not know about Joanna. How is Joanna Jedrzejczyk after a loss? Turns out she's just as freaking awesome as she is after a win. You know, I, of course, would prefer it if she had not lost, just like she would. I, as a fan, would have preferred it if she had tied the record and then beat the record, as I'm sure she would. But instead, the loss happened. She can't control it. It is what it is. But she came out and talked to the media, gave no excuses, congratulated Rose on her victory, and kept it moving. Handled it like a pro, and should have won a lot more fans along the way. I expect Joanna to be in another title fight before the end of 2019. She is that good. I believe she's going to be that much more better. Definitely going to be that much more motivated. So to see a fighter lose is never great. It's never even good. It's never great when it's a fighter that you're a fan of, but it is good to see that the caliber of the person, of the human being, is just as great as you could have imagined. So I wanted to say this with a level head. I wanted to say this, clear-headed after everything that happened at UFC 217. And just say, hey, if you were a Joanna Jedrzejczyk fan because you either got into MMA or got into that division or, only found out about her after she was champion, trust me, you should still be a fan today. She's still one of the best. She'll continue to improve, and that should be scary. Joanna has cleaned out her division. She has a loss to Rose Namajunas and nobody else. So, think about that. She's cleaned out the division. She's lost to one person. She's going to come back, I believe, new and improved and all the better. But it is very, very, very interesting to see how much better does she come back and what is the road to another title fight. It might be an automatic rematch. It might be something as simple as, beat one person and then go for the title rematch. Either way, I expect Joanna to do what she does best, and that is win, and that is fight in a title fight in the UFC. So let's see what happens. As always, your host, Orlando Rodriguez from The Guy Blog. Orlando at theguyblog.com for any emails. At The Guy Blog on Twitter, on Instagram. And if you like this show, you want to support, you want more people to find it, go to iTunes, leave a 5-star review. As always, guys, take care, gals. Good talking to you. All of you. Talk to you soon.